Hi guys, welcome to Healing with Nelly. So today I wanted to make a follow-up video from my previous video where I mentioned that if you are constantly being hurt or constantly having issues with everything or with all the areas of your life, that is proof that you're being called into healing. What did I mean by that? All right. So allow me to explain how I see it in my own point of view and how I think it's working for me. So here's the thing. When we are born with a purpose. And once you get delivered to the world, your parents raise you and you are told into becoming someone that's not on your purpose, because you're not born with your purpose written on your forehead. So when we are born, our parents send us to school, they teach us things, we engage in the world, in the system, and how things are supposed to be done on earth. So we not keeping in mind of the original purpose why you were born, because no one is just born for coincidentally. God does not give children just for the sake of giving children. Every child, every human being is born with a purpose in life. God brings you down because there's something that he's put there for you, but because there's something that maybe no one is doing it right, but he's trusting you with that thing. And you are born, and then you go to school, you started to become something else, or you follow anything, or you just take whatever job that is available to sustain you, because we need food and bills need to be paid. So where does this all come and connect with the fact that when things are going wrong, you're being called into healing, or rather, you're being called into focusing on your purpose in life? Not all of us go through this, of course, but I'm speaking to the people who are actually seeing themselves in these type of shoes. So let's say you are in a job that you don't like. You are in a job where you are mistreated, where you are underpaid, and where you are overworked. And you stay there because jobs are scarce. It's hard to find a job, especially in South Africa. So you get stuck there, suppressing your feelings and the fact that you are not happy. But because you're thinking about food and how to survive. Maybe you have kids, you have a family, and you can't just leave because you're not happy. So that's where we misunderstand being strong. Being strong is not suppressing your feelings and taking something you are not okay with, because ignoring yourself is a sin. Doing that to yourself is a sin. A sin is not just something you do to start to hurt someone else, but because you're sitting on your values and you're just letting everything pass for the sake of getting paid. That's a sin to God. You are created in the image of God. So anything that belittles you in front of God is a sin, and that you allow to belittle you in the eyes of God is a sin. You sin against yourself. You sin against your identity. You sin against your purpose, because you are settling for what's available instead of looking for what you are here for. But it's not easy. We don't all have the time, and problems are not waiting for us to find ourselves. Bills need to be paid. Kids need to be sent to school, and life has to go on. So since we will do that, we will not be paying attention about purpose and all that. So here's what God's gonna do. That's what I realize with me. God will keep troubling you to remind you that you don't belong there. For example, it might take, God will use the people and the circumstances around you to send a message to you because He can't speak to you directly. So, let's say, for example, I'm going to use my experience as an example. I was working in a sex store, selling sex toys. It's a legit store, but I was working there because it was what I could find. So I had been there for 2 years. It was okay, actually better than where I've been, because I've been mistreated in my previous works, into my previous work and my previous jobs. So it felt like, yeah, it's better. It might not be what I want, or it might not be my dream, but it's better than where I've been. And then I'm like, okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. I had already begun with this healing journey, and I'm going to tell you how I started this healing journey. Not today, not in this video, but I'm going to explain it as well. So allow me to say, I had started healing on this healing journey, and I was still working on my job, knowing that I don't want to be there, secretly knowing that I'm not supposed to be there. And it's not even the fact that it was a sex toy store. No, it was the fact that I knew that I was not living up to my potential. And I knew that I'm not going to die a sales representative. There is something more with my life than what is available at the moment. And so I started asking myself, when am I actually going to start taking a chance? When am I going to start taking a chance with my life? And I was not going to do it. I was not going to leave my paying job when I have a whole family depending on me. I am the only firstborn at home. I'm the only older person at home. So everything comes to me. So beggars can't be choosers. People say that. So I stayed in that job while in my healing journey and trying to see and trying to seek the answers of why things happen the way they happen. And guess what? While I was still working there, I remember on the 29th of November, this 2025, I was with my other colleague and we were just talking about growth and stuff. And I mentioned to her that I actually can't believe that I'm going to be finishing 2 years in this company. I feel like I'm not doing anything with myself. I feel like I'm sleeping on myself. And we just had that conversation and then we dismissed it. And it was not even because I was happy where I was working. I was actually happy. I loved it there. I loved the people. And I loved feeling like a therapist now and then. So it was not bad. But it was not aligned with my purpose and my identity. So guess what happened? The next day, I had an emergency. An emergency that I knew that if I called my manager to ask if I can go, she was not going to allow it because it was a Sunday and no one was going to come to cover my shift. So here's what I did. I locked the store and I went to attend to my agency. Okay, that took about 4 hours. Oh, okay. I'm forgetting something. When this agent situation arises and I'm at work, I actually don't have money for transport to be there where I'm needed. And I'm also contemplating on if I should go or not, because if I go, I know I might lose my job. The possibility of me losing my job is here. I'm aware that I can lose my job if I do this, but I'm going with faith and risking that. I'm someone who runs her life with, if I have to do something, I have to do it. Whatever outcome that comes after was part of the plan. So I go ahead and I go to attend the emergency that I had with my family. It takes about 4 hours. And then when I come back, my manager is waiting for me outside and I had to resign because I neglected the store for a whole 4 hours. But that's not the point. Oh, and my manager was actually crying on my behalf. She was crying tears streaming down her face, because she knew my problems. She knew everything that I had to do. She knows everything that depends on me at home. She knows that it's like nothing can move if I'm not there. And now she was thinking, me without a job, and 30th of November, I'm getting fired. How am I going to sustain my family? So she was crying from pain and from knowing, because I'm someone who always has good relationships with people. So we shared, we talked about stuff, we talked about life, and she knew that I needed that job. But what she didn't know is that I already signed a contract with God, with healing and finding my purpose and finding my true self. So to me, the fact that I didn't have money to attend to my agent, to this agent situation, but here's what happened. A customer came buying some things, and then his change, or her change was $40, 40 rands. And she gave me as a tip. And guess what? That's the exact money that I needed to go to my situation where I needed to be. And I'm someone who watches I watch all the signs. You see, when I mentioned in my previous video that I started watching me closely, I watched the signs with, okay, I didn't have money. I already prayed about this situation, that God, I'm going to go there. I'm not sure if I should go or not, and I don't even have the money, but I wanted to go there. And then this person gives me the exact money for transport that I need. Take that money, and I go. When I come back, my manager is there, and I have to resign because I was fired, actually. Okay, fine. She's crying, empathizing with me, but I was not even crying. I'm someone who was like, I was like, okay, God, I see what you did there. I didn't have money to go. I didn't have the courage to decide for myself if I can take this risk or not. But what you did, you pushed me by giving me the money to go there to prove that whatever that I'm doing is aligned with your plan. And this is where it comes back to. When I was giving you this example about my life, I was trying to share that if you are anywhere in your life, either it's a job, it's a relationship, or it's a home, if you are actually entertaining anything that is not aligning with you, you might not even know that you are not aligned with your purpose. But this is what's going to keep happening. Something will keep happening. Some bad things will keep happening to distract you from the place that you are at, so that you can actually awaken and find awareness that, hey, something is happening. I'm not happy here. I should move from this place. So God can speak to us directly. So he throws situations at us that force us to take action. Because I was never going to leave my job if I was not fired, even though I knew I didn't want to be there anymore. And let's say you are married to this person. You love them. But they keep treating you the way they treat you. They keep treating you the way they treat you because we're operating from place of lack and knowing that, okay, misebenza ayikho, or amadoda wekho, or wabafazi abekho. Let me just stick with the one that I have. So God can even use a side chick to cheat with your husband, or a side whatever to cheat with your partner, so that you feel pain. You feel pain and stand up and get out of there. If you are constantly in pain, if everything is constantly going south and you sitting there thinking it's gonna change, or he's gonna change, or she's gonna change, or they're gonna give me that promotion one day. No. God is gonna keep reminding you that you shouldn't be there. So he's gonna keep making your husband or your wife to cheat on you while you sit there praying that they get better, because you have to leave. You shouldn't be there. So back to my example, God will give you would use anything that's available for you to be shaken, to be moved. And trust me, when that happened, when those bad things happen, when those people hurt you, and when you are overlooked, when you're belittled and you are disrespected, and you stay in the same place, praying for change, that's where you get it wrong, thinking you pray for change, you pray and things will change. No, things will not change. Those things that are happening there, they are happening so you can move. If it doesn't happen once, because coincidentally some things happen, some bad things happen once and then it's over. But check your patterns. If this keeps happening, God is trying to send a message to you. He needs you to isolate, to go. He needs you to isolate so you can actually be free to receive His guidance on how to or where to go next. But if we cling too much on things because we think there's not enough there, if I lose this, then that's it. So what I'm going to tell you, if you are constantly feeling pain, if people constantly hurt you, they disappoint you, and you still hang around those circles, nothing is going to change. That's a sin to yourself because you are belittling yourself. You are belittling an image of God. Anything that doesn't sit well with you, whatever it is, and you don't speak up about it, something will happen that will hurt you to nudge you into actually saying something, speaking up or leaving or taking that decision. Whatever it is, but you always get a sign. So hurting is not because it's against nothing, it's not against you. You are being aligned with what you should be doing. You are being aligned with what you should be. You are being reminded that you deserve better. So instead of crying in the dark and begging and praying to God to beg to go back to the same situations, praying God for the same jobs that you got fired, praying to God for the same man that has been cheating on you, praying to God for the same wife that has been mistreating you, thinking they're going to change, there's no such thing. There is no such thing. You have to let go of what's hurting so you can be able to receive what's meant for you. I will be elaborating in this topic on my next video, sharing on what to do in those moments. You feel like these are constantly happening, nothing is going, everything is going south. I will share on my next video on what is it now? You've been called aside. Now what is it that you have to do? So stay tuned and please subscribe to my channel if you are interested into learning more about the real life problems, and enjoy the rest of your day. Here's to Healing with Nelly. Love you guys.